This amazing engine just wants to run, and I want it to run. But I fear that I've treated this engine very badly. Now, about 5 weeks ago, this engine was on the way. It was only a few days away from arriving, and my responsibility was to do a full featured review about the history and features of this engine. And I had a stroke, ended up in hospital, had my car license taken away, my eyesight is still shit. And anyone who's had a stroke knows that in the days and weeks afterwards, your brain is fog. And I made some mistakes with this engine. I didn't realize that this is a dipstick and that the oil needs to show on the bottom of it. So I tried so hard to put the right amount of oil in the right place that featured on the instructions, but I don't think I put enough oil in it. Because I didn't put enough oil in it, I don't think I covered the oil intake, which is down in the bottom of the sump. I don't believe I filled the sump. And I don't believe that the oil started going through here. I checked that there was oil going through here by opening up this hole here, which is from the oil pump. And I got a little bit of oil splashing through, but I believe now that that might have just been from splash or something. I don't know. Whatever, the correct place to open is here. This engine locked up, and it still locks up. I'm running it now on premix with oil, and it still locks up. And I think that the first few times that I've locked this engine up, it has cooked whatever was left of the oil in the little tubes in the conrod gudgeon pin. And you know, maybe the piston itself, the ring needs to be freed up. So we're going to take the piston out and the conrod and those pins and just check that we can clean everything up as much as possible, see if there's any hope for this engine. Because the strain when you're trying to start this engine and it's and the ring is starting to seize up, then you get strain on the ignition timing nut in here, and my ignition's playing up and the engine just doesn't run properly. But this engine absolutely wants to run, and the more I look at this engine, the more I open this engine up, the more impressed I am with it. I opened this up and squirted oil in through the oil system to prime it, and now when I open that little hole which is coming out of the oil pump filter, so we know the oil is pumping through the filter and out of that wee hole. Okay, you can just take a little hex out of there and it pumps oil out, and that's what it's doing at the moment. So I know the oil system is pumping. I don't know what pressure we're getting. If I can clean out all the piston ring, and I know that when I put oil in here, if I put oil in through the spark plug and get that oil around that piston ring, then the compression's great. So I haven't necessarily wrecked the ring, you know what I mean? I haven't overheated it to the point of wrecking it. So let's take this thing apart and see if I can clean that up at the top there, see if I've done any damage, if I need to replace any parts, because this is just an absolute tour de force, and when it runs nicely, it has a beautiful little sound, and I think it's just such an amazing engine. I know that people don't get on the internet and search for model stationary engine, but it is a remarkable technological achievement in a mass-produced or at least batch-produced model engine. And I want to give it every chance to run really well, because it can. I'm watching videos and reports from people who have one, who have treated it probably better than I have, who are just getting their engines running so nicely. Let's take it apart. It's a bloody gorgeous day here in Paradise, Christchurch, New Zealand. And I'm massively excited to show you this 185 model engine from Okmo, Retrol and Stirling kit. This is a significant piece of model engineering to attempt for mass market release. It has a fuel filter, an oil pump and oil filter. Being a diesel prototype, it has a decompression lever. Look at this day. It's an absolutely bloody gorgeous day. Beautiful day here today in Christchurch, New Zealand. There's no wind, gobs of sun, and just pleasantness all around. Why is that stuck in there? My cat now says yowl. Right, I'm just going to pull that out of there. Right, just found out that this unscrews. If this happens to you, this unscrews. Right, I'm just going to make sure I get the right end of that spring on there, because I want that to that spring in there to seat well. This can only go back up one way, you know, it's got a round top there. It does have an oil seal on it, but shouldn't really need one. I'm not going to put that extra washer there for my delayed timing yet. If this is the first time you've seen my videos, I subscribe to the theory that these tiny little engines are not for model airplanes. They don't want to run at 1300 RPM, 13,000 RPM. They want to run, you know, under 1,000 RPM. That's what I want to run them at. And at that kind of speed, the ignition volume of these is so tiny that I don't need my ignition advanced before top dead center. I want it slightly after or on top dead center, particularly for the hit and miss engines, but even for ones like this that you want to sound like the diesel prototype. Right, let's see whether we've got spark. Nice and regular. The ignition's working fine. You see my fuel's full. It shouldn't get as hot as it did before. It's warming up, but it's running really well, so great. I can see the smoke coming out. Just going to put that outside. 1 to 40 fuel running out there. Right, first we're going to dump out, well, first we're going to get this off its little base. And as I said, my eyesight is shit, so you're going to see me fumbling for some of this stuff. Okay, there we go. Right. When you're doing if you ever take the base off this, it's a really good idea to use a sealer under here. You can see that gets a bit wet, so might be a good idea. Yeah, I'm going to try and empty out my oil. And I mean, I tried really hard to get this. I have had this out once, and I've tried really hard to get that sealed up. But I think now that I need some kind of sealer as well as the rubber ring that's there. Plumber's Goop, which doesn't ever go hard. It doesn't set, but it's quite stiff. Is a very, very good option. I have a tube of that somewhere. I've got to find it. We'll buy some more. Buying anything is hard now that I don't have a license to drive. So it might actually be a good idea to suck my petrol out of there, so we'll do that first, I think. Big, big fuel tank. I keep thinking I'd love to get one of these tanks for my H74 4-cylinder Holt engine. I think it's H74. This would be a perfect tank for that engine. Right, let's have a look. That's pretty much empty. Right, how are we going to get the oil out? Well, maybe we should suck it out like that. It'll be a bit slow, but... Our options for the suckage of oil are these two. Which can I get in? Okay, right. No. See how we get this. Whoa, doesn't work. It's coming, but it's pretty slow. But yeah, I don't know. It's worth persevering with this, I think. Okay, let's take the bottom off this. If you can hear that in the background, that's one of my kids playing with his friend on the computer. I mean, life goes on. I'm not going to make this a massive production. Okay, there we go. So you can see you need quite a bit of oil to get it up to the bottom of really that line across there. Right, so I'm going to put that there, collect our screws. I better be really careful to get all my screws because my eyesight is still crap. We've got 3 here. So yes, a stroke can affect your eyesight if it gets to the right part of the brain. Now have a processing deficiency. Right, if you're going to take the top off, leave this oil connector connected and undo it down there. I'm also going to take this off just because it's easier to get to everything if you do. This is just venti thing. Okay, that's 1/3 of the valve cover. Okay, valve cover. Still doesn't look like it's getting its oil up to there. Right. Now we have, oh no, damn it. One of our 6 is underneath here. Well, that sucks. That's going to make it tricky. Well, it is what it is. Let's get it off. Right, that's all 6 off the head. Off with its head. Okay, we have a problem. Do we have a problem? No, I don't think we do have a problem. Because we're not really going to get that head on with the interface, the breathing seal interface to the intake of air from the carb, unless we loosen this and this, which we're going to do now. Okay. Right. Yep. Okay, there we go. Right. Okay, got that. This should pop off. Yeah, and we better save that ring there. Right, there's the inside of our head. Piston, the head seal has changed from what used to be copper in these engines. We know the compression's good. There's the top of the piston. So we're going to get that piston out now. Might do that up, I think. Is that you, Charlene? Just to keep this in place and from getting in the way, I'm going to put that from losing stuff. I'm going to put these in. Pop that piston out and get all those holes, oil channels checked. And my eyes, again, are giving up on me a bit here. We'll just try and figure out which screw. Okay, that looks like a 1.5. It is. So, need a 1.5. Ratchet. This is a 1.5. How deep do we need it? That might work. Yeah, I think that will work. Cracked open. I can now use this. Right, there we go. Okay. There's the oil channel. Just looking at the condition of this, it seems to be absolutely fine. So that's the bottom of the conrod. I'm just going to get something to keep that in. There's the oil channel in the conrod. Sorry, in the crankshaft. Oil channel in the crankshaft. Just going to try and pop this out now. Pop the piston out. Okay, here comes the piston. See if that will pop out. I'm going to grab a wooden chopstick to poke this out with. Well, it is Chinese. Does not want to come out at all. What's going on here? Right, I'm trying to figure out why the piston doesn't want to come out. cannot see. My eyesight is just rubbish. Alright, let's have a look at that. The piston has a big concavity in it. There it is. And wow, yes, it is a bit of a mess. And our oil, the rings are really, you know, it's not just a single ring engine by any means, is it? That is an amazing piece of work, Jin. Let's get this working properly. Okay, so putting my mouth over the bottom of that and blowing, it should be blowing through here. But it's not. We're not getting oil up through that conrod. That's what I have to fix. So you can see where I've had the wear. Which is my fault. There's no wiggle, you know, it's really good, really good. Okay. But yeah, we need to clean out that hole in the middle that's supposed to go all the way out. The oil's supposed to come out each side, and I don't believe that's happening. Right. I'm going to try the old needle here, see if that'll fit in there. Yep, that's a perfect fit. Okay, and we are getting crap out of there. A little bit of crap out of there. We also have a... We might just squirt a bit of oil through there. Alright, let's see if we can get some oil to come out of here. Not really, you know, like very slightly. Goodness me. Okay, we do have a bit now. Looks like we have lock screws for the pin. So we're just going to look into that a bit. Yeah, I think these are locking pinny thingies. Let's have a look at unlocking the pinny thingies. That's coming out easily. It wasn't tightly done up, and neither was that one. Let's see if our pin, oh yeah, our pin comes out. There it is. Okay, so you notice that that hole has to go in a particular, Here's our, is it called a gudgeon pin? And that hole has to go up in a particular way. Right, so here's our conrod. Right, the gudgeon pin hole has to go facing down. If the gudgeon pin hole is facing down, here's my pin. Okay, the bore looks really good to me. I don't think we've got any problem with the bore. See if I can focus on that, but I don't think I can. Yes, I can. Don't think we have a problem with the bore. So with that all cleaned out, I'm going to try and reassemble that with my terrible eyesight and all. Might need a cotton bud to get, I think I need a cotton bud to get into all these little cracks and clean the dust and bits out of them so we don't have low leaking compression. Okay, we do have oil coming through down there, so that's good. I can see it wetting that. Yeah. Alright, assembly lube, assembly lube, assembly lube. I mean, it's just oil, but it's what I'm calling assembly lube. Okay, I've got to try and get this back in here. Yeah. Not easy. Not easy. Compressing those rings with those studs in the way. Okay, one. That's it. I got it. Right. I mean, I've done two others, so it must be possible, right? Even with my shit eyesight. I don't want to have to take this out and make a tool for this now at this stage. I mean, that would suck, wouldn't it? Oh. Okay, so just sliding in and out. Just need to get that. Yes, I got that in. I got it in, everybody. Everybody, we're really very happy to hear that I got that in. Okay. Wow, and now we're getting the whole cylinder coming out. So that's interesting. Would have been nice to know that that could happen. Might have been easier for me. Right, let's get the head on. This is a little bit tricky because of all these little yeah, we might spray that clean, I think. So I've cleaned the top of this with a spray, and I'm going to put the ring in its little ringy place, which is on the bottom rather than on the top. Okay, let me just try and focus these old eyes. Yes. That looks correct. Now remember, this has got rings on this side and this side. Yeah, that's how. Easy peasy Japanesey. Okay, what fell off? One of those, okay. I want to make it 100% clear that the problems that I've had with this engine due to it becoming oil starved are not due to its manufacturing, which is absolutely superb. The tolerances and the manufacturing are great. It's not a problem with the design. There's just one other thing I want to clear up for you guys. So if I had have had the spare parts that I needed when I was taking that engine apart, of course I would have replaced them all. But given that I'm not an expert, I didn't know, given that the engine has run well, I thought, well, maybe if I can clean everything out and get that oil flowing, this engine will run well again. But it seems it's going to need piston, rings, and I think might as well do the cylinder as well. That's probably cheap compared with the rings and piston assembly. So I think that's the way I'll go. But let me know if you think I should get the complete new engine instead, just in case there was something else wrong that I didn't know about. Then I'll have, you know, spare parts for pretty much everything, won't I?